Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to add online store management software business IndiaMART Enquiries in Google Sheets. So I am an owner of an online electronics store and I collect the data of my leads inquiries using IndiaMART. As for my business, I receive a lot of inquiries using IndiaMART by any of my potential customers or clients. I want to create a record of all those leads inquiries in a proper manner. And if I'm going to do this manually, it is going to take me a lot of time. So what I did was, I simply created an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So here in this automation, what we are going to learn is, as we're going to receive a new inquiry using IndiaMART, I want to create a record of the inquiry in my Google Sheets. Okay, I want to add the details of the inquiries in my Google Sheets. And for that, we're going to create an automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add online store management software business IndiaMART Enquiries in Google Sheets. So I'm running an online store that sells electronics through IndiaMART. We receive multiple inquiries on daily basis, and manually recording these inquiries in our system can lead to missing leads or delays in follow-ups. So by automating the addition of IndiaMART inquiries in Google Sheets, our sales team can view all the new inquiries in real time. This not only improves response time but also helps us prioritize and manage inquiries more efficiently, boosting sales and enhancing our customer satisfaction. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Add online store management software business IndiaMART Enquiries in Google Sheets. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this field. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMART Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create. In order to create a workflow is created in the name of Add Online Store Management Software Business IndiaMART Enquiries in Google Sheets, and there are two windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Let's set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as IndiaMART. As with the help of IndiaMART, I'm receiving multiple inquiries for my business from my potential clients and customers. So my objective is that whenever a new lead is going to be generated using IndiaMART by any of my potential customers or clients, I want Pabbly Connect should capture the response. So that's why for the trigger application, I selected it as IndiaMART, and then for the trigger event, I'm going to select as new leads, so that whenever the new lead is going to be generated by any of my potential customers or clients using IndiaMART, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to connect IndiaMART to Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. Firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, we need to open our IndiaMART account in order to connect it with Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. For that, I'm going to log into my IndiaMART account. As you can see that this is my IndiaMART account right over here, and I'm going to connect this account to Pabbly Connect. For that, what we have to do is from the left side of the panel, you have to click on this Lead Manager button right over here. As we're going to do that, the lead manager page is then going to appear in front of you, and at the top left corner it says menu. You can see right away. I'm going to click on this option. From this given drop down, I'm going to click on export and import leads. Okay, and from these options you have to click on this push API button. As you can see that this API page is then going to appear in front of you, and it is asking for you to select the source. For the source over here, as the given source is not provided to us in the option, so I'm going to click on this other button. As I'm going to do that, it is going to ask for the CRM platform name. So I'm going to enter the platform name. So for that, I'm going to write it as Pabbly Connect. Okay, so this is my CRM platform name, and for the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After the CRM platform name and entering the webhook URL, I'm going to click on the Save Details button. A new window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for you to select the reason of why we are creating this webhook right over here. So I'm going to select the random reason from the given drop down. If you want, you can add your own reason from this and any other reason button. Okay, so I'm going to select the random reason from here, and then I'm going to click on this click to generate OTP button. This window is then going to appear in front of you, which is going to ask for the OTP. So for the OTP over here, I'm going to write in the OTP. So this is the OTP, then I'm going to click on this submit button. As you can see that the webhook URL is now successfully added to my IndiaMART account. As the URL is now successfully added, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and I'm going to scroll down. You can see it is saying waiting for webhook response. So as it is waiting for the webhook response, we're going to check whether IndiaMART is connected to Pabbly Connect or not, and for that we're going to generate a test lead using IndiaMART. Okay, so now we're going to generate a test lead. For that, I'm going to open my IndiaMART. So as you can see, this is my IndiaMART page right over here, and now what we're going to do is we are going to generate a new inquiry in our IndiaMART account, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the new lead being generated or not. For that, for here I'm going to search the product right over here. So for the product, I'm going to search the product that I have. So this is the product, I'm going to select it. You can see that this is the product that I'm selling. So I'm going to click on this contact supplier button. Over here it is asking for the message that we want to send as an inquiry to our business. So for the message over here, I'm going to write it as, so this is the message that I've written, that is, hello, I'm interested in purchasing 50 units of 50-inch smart LED TVs for my retail store. Could you please confirm if these are in stock and provide pricing details? Also, do you have any offer, any bulk discounts? Looking forward for your response. So this is the message that I want to send as an inquiry to my business, and then I'm going to click on the submit button. After click on submit, it is going to ask for the GST number. So for the GST number of my business, I'm going to write in a number right over here. So this is a dummy GST number. Then I'm going to click on this submit button. As we're going to do that, you can see it says your details are sent. As the details of the new inquiry being sent has been shown on the screen right over here, I'm going to open my workflow that I've created in my Pabbly Connect account, and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the new lead being generated or not. For that, I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account. So this is my workflow that I've created in a Pabbly Connect account, and then I'm going to scroll down to check whether we have received a response. And yes, as you can see right away, we've received a response right over here. In the response, you can see I've received a subject as requirement of empty mineral water bottle. So as I have generated a lead using IndiaMART, over here in the response, you can see we have received a test response. Okay, so in place of this test response, whenever a new lead in your business is going to be generated, you are going to receive the data of that lead in place of this test response. Okay, so this is a test response right over here. For the status comes as success. For the ID, we have received the query ID. The subject you are going to receive of the query that is generated. The state right over here, the pin code, phone number, you can see right over here, the name of the lead as Prabhat. For the mobile number, we've received a dummy mobile number, the alternative number, the alternative email address, country as IN, that is India, the company city as Noida. You can see the address as the dummy address, with the details of the query time, the product name, the message of the query that is right over here. In place of the message, you're going to receive the message that we have entered. As you have seen before, I've entered a message. So in place of this test message, you're going to receive the message of the inquiry that is generated by your lead. Okay, this name right over here with all the other details. So this means that IndiaMART is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect, and our trigger setup is done. So now whenever a new lead is going to be generated using IndiaMART, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the new leads inquiry that is generated. Okay, as the trigger setup is done, we need to set up our action step, and as our objective is that whenever a new lead is going to be generated using IndiaMART, we want to create a record of that lead in our Google Sheets that we have created. So this is a spreadsheet that I've created using Google Sheets, and I want to enter the details of my lead in this spreadsheet. I want to create a record of the leads that are generated using IndiaMART in this spreadsheet right over here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my action step, and for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm going to select my action application application as Google Sheets. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add new row, as I want to add a new row of the leads details in this spreadsheet that I've created. After selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear in front of you, on which you can add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on sign in with Google. Then a new dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on allow, as the save process in my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet in the name of IndiaMART lead details, and I want to create a record of the leads in this spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is, for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select it as IndiaMART leads details. Okay. After selecting the spreadsheet, it is asking for us to select a sheet. So I've created a single sheet in my spreadsheet in the name of sheet 1, as you can see right over here. So for the sheet over here, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. After that, it is asking for the unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company, address, city, state, pin code, country, product name, and the message. So these are the same fields that I've created in this spreadsheet. You can see right over here: unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company name, address, city, state, pin code, country, product name, and the message. Okay, so these are the same fields that I've created in this spreadsheet right over here. And I want to enter the data of the lead details under these specific headers that I've created. You can see right over here. So what we are going to do is, for the data of these fields, we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we go to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see it says IndiaMART new leads. Okay, this was the previous step of this workflow, and as I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As it is asking for the unique query ID, so in my previous response, you can see I've received a unique query ID. Okay, so from my previous response, I'm going to select this data of the unique query ID. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped, and as mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Similarly, for the name, I'm going to map the data of the name of my lead. So I'm going to map the data of the name of my lead. It is asking for the email. So for the email of my lead, I'm going to map the data of the email of my lead. I'm going to map the data of the email of my lead right over here. Next, it is asking for the phone number of my lead. So I'm going to map the data of the phone number of my lead right over here. I'm going to map it. It is going to ask for the company right over here. So for the company over here, I'm going to map the data of the company right over here. I'm going to map it. Okay. Next, it is asking for the address of my leads. For the address of my lead, I'm going to map the data of the address right over here. So this is the address. I'm going to map it. Similarly, for the city, I'm going to map the data of the city of my lead. That is right over here. I'm going to map the response. It is asking for the state of my lead. So I'm going to map the data of the state of the lead that has been generated from. So I'm going to map the data of the state right over here. Next, it is asking for the pin code. So I'm going to map the data of the pin code right over here. Okay, I'm going to map the data of the pin code. It is asking for the country. So I'm going to map the data of the country right over here. So this is the country code. I'm going to map it. For the product name over here, I'm going to map the data of the product name. I'm going to map the data of the product name I have received. And for the message, we need to map the data of the message that we have received from my previous response. Okay, so as I've mapped in all the data right over here, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see we've received a response right over here, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and I'm going to check whether a record of the new lead being generated is created in my Google Sheets or not. For that, I'm going to open my Google Sheets that I've created. So as you can see right away, the record of the new lead being generated has been created in my Google Sheets. For the unique query ID, the query ID, name as Prabhat, this is the lead's name right over here, the email right over here. For the phone number, dummy mobile number, company as ABC Private Limited, the address as Sector 135, Noida, Uttar Pradesh. This was the dummy address of our lead that is generated. For the city as Noida, state as Uttar Pradesh, for the pin code or dummy pin code, country as IN, that is India, product name, the product name, and for the message of the lead that has been generated, the query that they have created. Okay, so as the record of the lead has been created in my Google Sheets, this means that we successfully created an automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an online electronics store and I manage my business using IndiaMART. I receive a lot of inquiries from my leads. So here my objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated with an inquiry using IndiaMART, I want to create a record of all those inquiries in my Google Sheets, and for that I've created this amazing automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.